plane is looking very busy. There's a lot of people queuing to board this plane. Yeah, I'm looking forward for the long flight. It's going to be 9 hours in total. So nice of you to join me again today. Once we enter this tunnel leading to the plane, that's it. We are finally officially leaving the UK, saying goodbye to our 8-hour layover at Qatar. And soon enough, we are going to be landing in Manila. And when I say soon enough, this flight is actually going to be 9 hours long. But not to worry, usually Qatar Airways is always on time. However, once we get to Manila, more often than not, there's usually air traffic. And when I say air traffic, I don't think it's the problem of the planes. It's a fact that the Naiya airport, which is Manila's international airport, only has one runway, believe it or not. So if there are flights coming from all over the world, yeah, we will have to squeeze into that one runway. So more often than not, the plane that I ride when I land to Manila is usually circling the sky, and that takes a while. I think the longest record that we've had to circle the sky, we were in the sky for about 30 to 40 minutes. I was arriving from Boracay.
Morning, Miss Roco, 3A, seat number.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, good morning.
So we finally boarded the plane. As usual, it's always the trend. Every time I'm heading back to Manila, the planes are always not new. Like, they're probably the oldest of the oldest business class. Nevertheless, I'm very grateful. I was hoping that I would get to experience the Q Suite again, but it seems almost like a thing of a past. During the pandemic, I was very lucky to always have the Q Suite flying from Manila to Doha to UK, and since the pandemic is sort of over, I haven't really been experiencing the Q Suite since then. Anyway, yeah, the plane is looking very busy. There's a lot of people queuing to board this plane. Yeah, I'm looking forward for the long flight. It's going to be 9 hours in total. When we land in Manila, it's going to be midnight, so it's going to be quite the journey. absolutely my favorite. There's no sugar in it. Right now I'm really running out of breath because I'm absolutely knackered. I'm so tired. First flight I had was 7.5 hours, and then the layover was 8 hours, and now this is going to be a 9-hour flight. So first time I actually didn't have any caffeine during the journey. I only had a little bit of cafe latte to begin with before boarding the plane in Edinburgh, but all throughout the flight, yeah, I just kind of battled it out with no caffeine so that when I land in Manila, I'll be able to get some decent sleep. It will be midnight, so cheers, and let's all have a safe flight. Just arrived. I'm going to show you what it's like inside with the food selection and the drink selection. It kind of looks a little bit similar to the menu that I had from from Edinburgh to Doha, but hopefully I'll be able to try something different this time. I absolutely love going through the wine menu and the food menu. Call me crazy, but I find this way more interesting than going through some lifestyle magazines. For the reason being that we are actually going to experience this, and by that, we're going to taste all the delicious food and drinks that are available. It's very hard to pick which mains to choose from and which dessert to choose from, but regardless, they're all delicious. My top suggestion would be if you aren't vegetarian or vegan, don't go for those because you might find it on the bland side. There's so many options to pick from if you don't want alcoholic drinks. My personal favorite is the karak chai, saffron, or cardamom. I personally prefer my karak chai. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing it correct. Karak chai? I prefer it chilled on ice, but they do serve it usually warm. Now for the wine list. Did I mention that on Qatar Airways they have this special feature called the Dine on Demand experience, which means you can pretty much dine on your demand. So if our flight is going to be 9 hours long, provided that they have enough food and drinks for you, which I'm pretty sure they will have, you can be dining, eating, and drinking for as long as the 9-hour flight. They have all the wine that you can choose from. There is one flight that I actually tried about 5 wines, and I didn't want to leave the plane buzzed, so I definitely had to water it down or to have sips of each wine. My personal favorite, if I'm not getting the Bordeaux, I am definitely getting the port or the dessert wine, and it goes very well with the cheese platter. And speaking of cheese platter, if you do love your wine and cheese pairing, have it reserved right away, because from my personal experience, the cheese platter gets sold out easily. And by that, if you don't, tell the flight attendant you'd like to have it during your flight. If you decide to have it after your meals, you could not be very lucky and they could probably run out of the cheese platter. It goes very well with the port and dessert wine. It's something I always look forward to and something that I don't get to experience on other airlines. I'm very curious, what do you normally like drinking on your long flights? For me, it really varies. There's one flight I actually tried cocktails, and by tried cocktails, I mean I think I must have ordered 5 different cocktails. It's going to be in one of my videos here on YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning from the flight deck captain speaking. My name is Daniel. With me in the flight deck, Captain Atri and Senior First Officer Raphael. On behalf of the 3 of us and the entire crew, I'd like to welcome you on board this Qatar Airways Boeing 777-300 for this flight 928 bound for Manila. Just about ready to depart, just waiting for the last few passengers to board. Should be closing doors in the next few minutes. Flight time once we get airborne is going to be 8 hours and 20 minutes, and we are planning to cruise at a highest of 37,000 feet. Weather conditions en route should be mostly a smooth flight. It might get a little bit bumpy halfway or so as we cross Bangladesh and India. However, if the seatbelt signs do get switched off, I would please request whatever seated here on safe to you to keep your seatbelt list fastened at all times. Weather itself in Manila, expecting partly cloudy skies, chance of some rain showers, temperatures to be around about 30 degrees Celsius. I'm only very much to the Cabin Service Director Diane, and along with Cabin Service Director Sherry and Cabin Senior Shing in Economy, they are both here together with a wonderful team of cabin crew to look after all of our safety and comfort. Please do sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. It's a pleasure having you on board. We should be on it.
It's a bit strange. I was in the toilet and I heard that 3 passengers are running late for the flight, so we waited for them, but they finally boarded the flight and now we are ready to leave. It's quite interesting to think that we could have potentially been delayed. I wonder if the plane would have just left them, but We're sort of right on schedule, running a little late by a few minutes, but we should be flying very soon. This is it. We are finally about to take off. Goodbye Doha, goodbye UK. I hope to see you both again very soon. And thank you so much for keeping me company during this time. It's been a pleasure getting to experience the layover and getting to experience the lounge over at the UK, particularly in the Edinburgh airport. The Qatar Airways lounge was shared with the British Airways lounge, so that's always very interesting. But for now, it's time to say goodbye, and I will see you soon on my next video. I hope you will join me because we are going to lift off. We are going to be enjoying food, drinks, and just enjoy the 9-hour flight going to Manila. I'll see you soon again on my next video. Bye!